The whole development of this model came out of the strategic plan and the development of an action team to look at our appraisal model and supervision model, and also to look at how it could be aligned more with the growth model. One of the things that kept coming up was that we wanted a differentiated model. We wanted a model that was more responsive to teachers' needs and that felt less like a hoop jumping procedure and something that was more embedded in the daily lives of teachers and that was meaningful to them.
Three major learning goals are the acquisition of information, to provide students with the opportunity to make meaning, and then finally, of course, to use that information in a new, novel setting, in a real-world setting, so that they actually transfer what they learn in the classroom. What often happens is in many schools, the focus ends up being on the acquisition. Give them lots and lots and lots of information, and we just assume they're going to be able to use it. And we know that unless we design lessons that take us beyond just the acquisition, we're not going to have them being able to transfer, being able to make meaning.
Well, we're here at the garden to experience what the ancient Egyptians used to experience and kind of see how they'd garden and how they harvest their crops and how they live.
What we did was we focused on the social hierarchy. The station over here is the sledge station, and it's meant to simulate how many of the peasant farmers, when they were waiting for the floods to recede of the Nile.
Okay, don't be afraid to get your hands messy.
Okay.
You just stick it right in, it's all got to get wet, that's it. Okay, and then pull it up.
The papyrus was actually a reed that had a lot of uses. They made boats out of it, they made shoes out of it, and they made paper primarily. Everyone else, you were born into a social hierarchy and you stayed in that social hierarchy, kind of like the caste system. The music station, I had to have something that was primarily about women, and that would be music in ancient Egypt. So they were the musicians, and they were also the priestesses that controlled all the temples that were dedicated to gods of music. Go.
When there were 6 new administrators that came to the American School of Dubai in 2012, 2013, we began to talk as a team about what was going to be a lens that was going to be most helpful to the 6 of us as we were constructing our own understanding of the school and the nature of the operation of the school. And we began a conversation about how do we really create for ourselves in terms of greater clarity of understanding. How does that clarity lead to our creating greater consistency in terms of what's happening across the school, and how do we really build on clarity and consistency to create greater coherence? And that really became very much the focus of virtually all of the work that we did with faculty and staff, and as a matter of fact with the Board of Trustees as well.